도널드 트럼프 미국 대통령이 이번에는 플라스틱 빨대로 돌아간다고 선언하고 행정명령에 서명했습니다.
Number one trending. Can you believe it? A paper show. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes. It's a ridiculous situation. So we're going back to plastic straws.
기후변화는 사기라고 주장해온 트럼프는 취임 직후 미국의 파리기후 협정 탈퇴를 결정하는 등 반환경정책 기조를 이어가고 있다는 평가를 받는데요. 앞서 바이든 정부가 환경오염 우려로 종이빨대 사용을 권장한 데 대해 트럼프는 말도 안 되는 압박이라고 이야기해왔습니다. 트럼프 선거 캠프는 집권 1기인 2019년 빨간색 플라스틱 빨대에 트럼프 이름을 새겨 10개에 $15씩 받고 팔기도 했습니다. 이번 조치에 대한 미국인들 반응은 엇갈립니다.
We should really worry about all the packaging and the manufacturers, how much plastic they use for all of our products and such.
트럼프의 이번 결정으로 플라스틱 오염 종식을 위해 진행돼온 국제 협약 추진도 더 어렵게 됐습니다. KBS 뉴스 고혜람입니다.
Next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
재택근무 공무원 즉각 사무실 복귀. 미국 도널드 트럼프 대통령이 취임 직후 2만 관중 앞에서 서명한 행정명령입니다. 트럼프 대통령은 연방 공무원들의 재택근무를 허용해온 바이든 정부 정책에 대해 강하게 비판해왔는데요. 4만 2천 명이 소속된 미국 공무원 연맹과 미 사회보장국 간 계약에는 미국 공무원들이 일주일에 2에서 5일간 사무실에 있어야 한다는 규정이 있습니다. 이 말은 주말을 제외하면 주중에 최대 4흘 재택근무를 할 수 있다는 겁니다. 오늘 트럼프 대통령은 행정명령을 통해 이 규정을 무력화했습니다. 코로나19 팬데믹 때 재택근무 비중을 크게 늘렸던 사기업들도 트럼프 대통령을 의식하는 분위기입니다. 최근 미국 최대 은행 JP 모건 체이스 등이 노동자들의 주 5일 사무실 근무 복귀 준비를 하는 것으로 알려졌는데요. 하지만 직원 수천 명을 갑자기 사무실에 복귀시키는 게 쉬운 일은 아닙니다. 아마존은 지난해 1월부터 직원들에게 주 5일 사무실 출근을 지시했는데 일부 도시에선 업무 공간 확보가 안 돼서 복귀 날짜가 미뤄지기도 했습니다. 트럼프의 이번 행정명령을 계기로 미국 사회 전반에 걸쳐 일하는 방식에 대한 인식과 근로 문화가 다시 한번 크게 변할 것 같습니다. KBS 뉴스 신선민입니다.
한 식당에서 이민국 요원들이 누군가를 끌고 나옵니다. 이곳에서 일하던 불법 이민자입니다. 영장 제시도 없었던 갑작스런 체포였습니다.
They catch three guys and they like area like a prison and was like a little bit everybody's afraid because I don't know if this is normal.
다른 지역에선 일하러 가던 불법 이민자 2명이 체포됐습니다. 조경회사에서 약 5년간 일해온 사람들이었습니다.
Immigration was outside my parents' house. My dad and uncle were trying to go to work like normal. It's the worst thing that could happen.
이민자들을 많이 수용한 이른바 피난처 도시를 비롯해 수십 개 도시에서 체포 작전이 이루어지고 있습니다. 트럼프 대통령 취임 나흘 만에 체포된 사람이 500명을 넘었습니다. 불법 이민자들이 체포될 걱정에 집안에만 머물기 시작하자 해당 지역에선 지역 경제를 우려하는 목소리가 높습니다.
A lot of store owners are afraid. Their workers won't come, and what these folks don't understand is this is going to hurt our economy.
Raise your right hand.
이런 가운데 국경 문제를 관할하는 미 국토안보부 장관 크리스티 놈이 의회 인준을 통과하면서 불법 이민자 체포는 더 강화될 것으로 보입니다. 그는 이민자 유입을 침략이라고 규정하고 주 방위군 파견을 결정한 바 있습니다.
Our National Guard could be activated under Title 32 and sent to assist another state from the invasion that was happening.
하지만 놈 장관이 주지사였던 사우스 다코타주 역시 이민자에 대한 의존도가 높아지고 있는 지역입니다. 불법 이민자 추방을 마냥 밀어붙일 수는 없는 이유입니다. 뉴욕에서 KBS 뉴스 박일중입니다.
Is Maine here, the governor? Are you not going to comply with it?
Complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. See you in court. See you in court. Every state. Good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. And actually, Republican. I don't know about have they checked the Democrats too. We have a record so far for Republican. Now it's 4 weeks. We've got a lot of weeks to go. We want to finish that way, right? But I just wanted to thank everybody because you've been really amazing. The job you've done has been incredible. Like 2 weeks ago, I signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. Many Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue because you'll never win another race. And it's just crazy. If you look at what happened with the boxing, if you look at what happened with the weightlifting numbers, where a record that hadn't been broken for 19 years got shattered. But, you know, the guy walks up who transitioned. He transitioned, and he knocked out that record by about 100 pounds. That will be a record not going to be broken again in a long. So we put a ban on it, and to protect women. I mean, the women, if you watch the Olympics, you had 2 transitioned people that were fighting in the women's boxing. They have women's boxing category. And if you saw that, it was brutal. What happened to the Italian woman was a really good boxer. After one punch, she said, no more. The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way, that's good. But I understand Maine, is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it? I'm complying with the state and federal laws. We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. See you in court. Every state. Good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics. Every state has a responsibility to comply with Title IX. They have an obligation, a legal obligation.
Have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. Seated. Again, my warm welcome. Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here. Our God teaches us that we are to be merciful to the stranger, for we were all once strangers in this land. May God grant us the strength and courage to honor the dignity of every human being, to speak the truth to one another in love, and walk humbly with each other and our God for the good of all people in this nation and the world.
Mr. President, what did you think of the sermon? What did you think of the sermon? What did you think of the
What did you think of the sermon?
What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
They can do much better.
Thank you, press.
In the name of our God, I ask you,